Hi there. Oops, sorry. This is the Victats podcast. This is a podcast about tatting, not the skin and ink kind of tatting, but the needle, shuttle, and thread kind of tatting. Yep. I also talk about cross stitch and crochet and all that stuff. Today is January 2nd. Sorry. Hold on. 2025. I almost said 2021. Forget about 2024. 2025, and I'm podcasting to you from my home in Smiths Falls. And excuse me for a sec. Sorry. I thought I'd just update you about the stuff that I've been doing for the last month. It's been a really crazy month. I had a relatively pathetic attempt at an unsuccessful attempt at doing a bit of a Vlogmas. But that did not work out because, hey, life got really busy. One of the things that I did when I was, it's not, okay, I'm going to show you something. Well, one of the things that I did at the end of a month, hold on, was, this is not a finished one, but I made a blue one of these deco mesh trees that you do on the tomato cages. I made one of those for my friend Ola. It's actually yeah. Anyways, it's actually not Ola. It's O-L-H-A. So it's actually Olha. Only like there's like a sound in there I can't make. Anyways, so but I made her one that was blue with sunflowers on it for Christmas. So I made one of those. Unfortunately, the one thing it looked really good, but the one thing, and I got the hang of it now, but the one thing that I was a little disappointed about when I made it, I think I'll put a picture on my Instagram to share it, was that I couldn't find any sunflowers. So I ended up getting paper ones, the ones that you use for scrapbooking, and they worked out really well. But what I really wanted, there's sunflowers, like you can get them at Michael's and all that stuff in the summer and everything, and I just, wrong time of year, just couldn't find them. So that part was disappointing, but it actually turned out, I think, really good. Like I was a little, it turned out really good. So I'm making another one for my friend Salima. It was meant to be for Christmas, but we ran out of time. And so this will be for her next year. I'll just work away at it. And then I might make one for Valentine's Day, depending on what happens. So if I can find the white mesh. Anyways, so that's one of the things I did. The other thing I did was for my friend, he was having a he's having a yearly Christmas party, and so he was going to have okay, now if you're French, I know bouche is mouth, but bouche, when I say bouche de Noël, it sounds really weird to me. So anyways, so I called him I am aware I'm not saying it right when I say bouche de Noël. But anyways, so I made a bunch of those for him. Because my house had burnt down, I opened my big mouth and told him I could do it, but I didn't realize I didn't have any recipes. And so then I had to do, thanks to my friend's nephew, Alam, he was able to help me figure out a good recipe. And so it was fun. That turned out, but that took, because I was making 5 of them, that takes time. And so that took up like pretty much a week. And part of the reason why it took so long or whatever was, one, there's 5, but 2 was, and then like a couple of them didn't turn out very well because I hadn't baked in a while either. So like I said, not using my old recipes, I hadn't baked for a while, but they actually turned out really good. And I've learned how to make ganache, so. and so that took a bit, and then I was making cookies and all that kind of stuff, all the normal stuff that you make. I made like Christmas crack, and actually, if you're gluten-free, I actually used rice crackers for the bottom of my Christmas crack. So I put foil down, put rice crackers down, did the butter, sugar, toffee like thing, put that down, and then gluten-free chocolate chips and all that kind of stuff on top. And and then the other thing I made was kind of like a gluten-free Hello Dolly, but I used the rice crackers on the bottom, and they actually float up, but they turned out really good. So you put crush up rice crackers in the bottom, right? But I didn't crush them up like super fine. They were kind of like chunky. I put them in the bottom with some butter, and if you're trying to go dairy-free, then margarine would work just as well. And I had the and then, you know, the chocolate chips, and, you know, all the pecans and coconut, and what I had was it was the dairy-free condensed milk, which is this coconut milk. It's condensed coconut milk, and you open up the container. Well, because at the grocery store when I went to get whatever for my sister. My sister's actually somewhat dairy-free, but she's okay with baked products. She doesn't have to worry as much. It doesn't cause as much of a problem. So she, anyway, so I used, but they had that there, and they had it cheaper than anything else too. So I used the coconut, so that it was all dairy-free. And when you open up a condensed coconut, it separates. So you got to mix it. It does what coconut does, and it separates out. So then you mix it in, and then what I did is I just poured it over top, and I put it in. And the recipe that I had been looking at said to leave it, you know, 30 to 35 minutes. Well, then it kind of caramelized, and it actually turned out really good. So I decided I'm calling those drunken dollies, because they're not quite Hello Dolly bars, which was what I was trying to make, just because everything floated up. And then I made a bunch of little forgotten cookies, which is basically a meringue that you make in the oven. What else did I make? Oh, and I had a horrible failure at peanut brittle. You know, when somebody says that they have a no-fail recipe, you know, and you're following the instructions exactly, then, you know, the thing is, sometimes those people don't always put, like, you know, important things like, hey, cold, anyways. So it did not turn out is what happened with the peanut brittle, but it was pretty funny because I'm like, should have known that butter was not going to go well with that melted brown sugar. But anyways, okay, all right, so so that's all the stuff I was doing instead of like tatting and cross stitching and all that stuff. That's what the point of me talking about that stuff was. Now, what I did want to show you was I did a couple of videos on how to make some stars. And then I've also shared the pattern over onto my blog, or I've started to do that on my blog with the link. And the stars were, let's see. Hey Lulu, come here. Is it Pentacle? Lucky, who sometimes I call Lulu, is the dog that was crying like he's dying in the last video. Oh, where'd it go? Okay. In one of the tutorials I was trying to do. Join up on that chair. Here is another version. And then one more. I think there's one more I'm going to still share, but yep. Okay, and then the other thing I tatted is I made a onion ring heart. Oh yeah, hand missing. Oh, there's still some of the tatting missing. Anyways, an onion ring heart. That's not showing up very well because it's white on white. Whee. Okay. Wow. It's like the non-professional presentation. Sorry. As you can tell, I have not blocked this. So there, you can't really tell. Certain kinds of patterns don't show up as well on hand-dyed thread. And then this is like a, I was initially thinking it's like a pomegranate, but then I thought it was like a blueberry. So this is not I made a mistake on the stitch count on this one, so it's not the final version. Apparently, I don't know where I put. the final versions. They're probably at my sister's on the floor or something like that. Because I was tatting them at my sister's yesterday while I was watching Wednesday. So blueberry, I thought this looked like a blueberry. You might not. And then I took that and I made it into a motif that I have not completely tied off yet. So, oops. Hold on a second. Oh my God. So this is going to look, this is unblocked, and remember sometimes things that are unblocked don't look as pretty as they will at some point. And again, I don't think a highly variegated pattern shows this off really well, but yeah, it doesn't show it off at all very well. This would be better done on a solid, but I did that as well. And it's kind of a good pattern to make. I realized to make a tree skirt, if you have a little tiny tree, make a really cute little tree skirt. Okay, alrighty, so I think that was a large portion of the tatting. Okay, so the other things, I have not been feeling well, and not that like during the day I'm fine, but then like at night and everything I haven't been, so I've been dogging this kind of like, not really a cold, but a sinus infection for the last little while, or I don't know, sinus infection or allergies, it's hard to tell because I had allergies in the summer. So it's just kind of been running me down. So I have not been doing a lot of anything in the evening. So that's part of the reason there's also not like a whole lot, I guess, you know, to share. Now, I can't remember if I shared this ending or not, but earlier in the month, and that's why I don't think I did, but, oh, it shows up so much better here. This is my finished wreath that is by Vinnie Tan, who is of Cottage Garden Samplings. And it's from one of the, what's it from? It is from this book. And I fell in love with this pattern when I saw it on Helen D's. She had done a flip through of it. Now, in person, I don't really think that this magnolia over here, this flower here, shows up as good as it does on here. It's a little ghosty, so I was thinking I might do a little bit of an outline. And the thing I didn't do is this is supposed to be kind of a square, because there's alphabet around the outside of it out here. But I hadn't put that on because I really like it like this, and I love this. I was so happy with it. And the thing is that I keep forgetting to bring it. I have a frame at the cottage, just kind of like a round kind of frame, or like, you know, the plate frames. And I keep forgetting to get it. So that's what I'm thinking I'm going to put that into to frame it. And if that's what I'm going to do, then, and it's circular kind of, then I'm not going to do the alphabet around the outside. Now, I will tell you that I will do this again because I really had a lot of fun stitching this. And I think it would look absolutely amazing in silk on, like, you know, like a Russian tea cake or something like that. I just think it would look so amazing. I did this on, I did it on 18 count Aida, like the Rustico Aida, because that's what I had at the time, because I started it in the summer of 2020. And I was a little stressed about, you know, money and everything like that, so because the house had burnt down, so I wasn't going to be, I didn't know where I was going to have to spend money. And so I had just gotten the Walmart stuff, but it also was, what I had done with it is when I was dyeing some other Aida, what I had done is thrown this particular piece of fabric into the bucket of blue, just to see what it would do and everything, and it changed it, so it was like a little bit darker. And I think that's part of why in certain lights like that, the white shows up a little bit better, but I think a cream would be better. I also did my own conversion because it called for Gentle Arts thread, like, and at that time my local supply place, which is Wool Time because I'm here in Ottawa, or I'm in the Ottawa Valley because I live in Smiths Falls, so not Ottawa, but Ottawa Valley. And I'm not a big, I'm actually, well, no, sorry, they did have it in. I can't remember if they had it in or they didn't have it in. But I'm not a huge fan of like a hard variegated. And so it looks to me like it's streaky versus, and it would, this was 18 count, so I did one thread, which I kind of, you know, I go through periods where I enjoy stitching with one thread and then I don't enjoy stitching with one thread. So I did a conversion, and I liked the conversion. I think it was a really good conversion. So I think what I would do is do the same idea, where if I were to do it in silk, I would do it in a solid silk, not a, like, so I do it in SWA 100s. Is that what they're called? Oh my God. Anyway, so, yep, on something like Russian tea cake. Because I had Russian tea cake a couple years ago because I joined the Anne Morrison style, and it's so beautiful. Stiff linen, but so beautiful. And the coloring of it's just amazing. Or the other one that would be really good is if it was like a 36 or 40 count Fox and Rabbit Inca, because I love that color. Anyways, okay. All right, so that's a finish as far as I'm concerned right now. Like I said, I'm just waiting. And because I keep forgetting. The other things that I have been working on was, so like not a lot of cross stitch happening because like I said, like I felt like my eyes hurt. Things really kind of whatever, but okay, so let me just continue with cross stitch first and then I'll come to that. So let's see what's in here. Oh, I started working on, I don't know when I started this, I can't remember. That's why people, I guess, write it down. But I started working on this, which is, I think, oh, when I finished the other one, then I started this. And this is a Nora Corbett Christmas Tree 2011. And it was a kit. And I talked about this before, but I really like working on this. Oh my God. It looks so nice. I have to do it with a hoop, and I'm doing the stab up. I change the way I stitch all the time, just in case, you know, it seems like sometimes so sometimes like sometimes I'll do like the sewing method, sometimes it's the stab method. It just depends on what I'm doing and what the material is like. Anyways, so I got this as a kit from Knowledge and Needles in Brighton. And like I said, I love the way it looks. Looks so amazing, amazing. And I'm not very far along, but still, it's exciting to stitch. And I think I saw on 123 Stitch that some of the other trees are now available that are not in the kits, that used to be only available in kits. Some of the other patterns. And there is a new, one of the new Mirabilia patterns out is called Mary Mary. And I think I'm going to buy that one, but not plan to stitch it right away because Mirabilias are really big. And I think I need to wait on that. Like I still, for my Halloween fairy, I still need to finish putting the beads on there. And I still have my June bug, which I love the June bug. So I have those two that I want to work on. So I don't want to get too many Mirabilia things. I don't want to get too far ahead or out of control, right? The other thing I pulled out to work on, sorry, alrighty. Oh, was I worked on, this is a Pinker and Pumpkin quilting pattern. I can't remember the name of it, but I did not get it done. It's a Christmas one, but I think I'm making okay progress with it. And this is on, I think it's, so I thought it was a 16 count Ada, but I think it's an 18 count Ada. And the reason I think that is because my stitches are super poofy on there. And you know, when you have, at certain counts, the stitches look a certain way. On this count, or it shrank when because I tea dyed it. And I'm using the Culprit colors with this one because I love the colors of this one. Okay, and then I started, okay, so I have been sick. So over the weekend, I worked Saturday, came home and slept straight through to like mostly Monday afternoon. And then on Tuesday, I felt much better, got up and went to my cottage. But I was actually supposed to go to my cottage on Saturday afternoon or Sunday. So, one, I felt too tired to drive, but the other thing was I didn't want to be sick at my cottage because I have to bring water in. So, yep, so that could be messy. So what I did start though is I had this kitted the last time I went to Uodate, which was a week or so ago, but I've wanted to start this for a while. And that is, actually wanted to start this last year, but didn't get a chance at Christmas. And this is from Cottage, yeah, can you see, I love Cottage Garden samplings. This is their 12 Days of Christmas. And it's 7 swans of swimming, but it's actually the swan that, I really love this swan and I love the colors. Now, I'm doing it on 14 count Ada. And, and it's on, so I dyed this last year. So that's how long I've been waiting to start this. But it's on 14 count Ada on this kind of gray that I had dyed. And it's kind of you can't really tell, but it's kind of a tonal gray. Now, here's what happened. See here? This is where I thought the pattern was starting, but I missed a repeat in through here. There should be one more set of long stitches here. So when I realized that, because I made the same mistake over here, but never thought to check here, I was pretty much down here. So I wasn't undoing what I had stitched. And so what's happening is that I'm going to be, despite the fact that I had decided that this time I'm going to give myself lots of margin and everything like that, it's probably going to come, the pattern actually goes about over to about here. So I screwed that up, even though I have lots and lots of stuff. But in person, this is also a much nicer kind of gray. I don't know, it's turning out that way, and then or showing up that as nice as it is in person. And what I was going to tell you is I really love the colors. The colors in this are super bright and happy. So it's a perfect, for me, I think that's a perfect winter stitch. Totally perfect. So I'm starting that. And there's a Canadian cross stitch exchange that's going on that I might sign up for. I got till the 6th to decide, so I haven't quite decided yet. Because the thing is, what you're supposed to do is use someone's favorite color. And usually when I sign up for a cross stitch exchange, I've already started stitching because I'm not a fast stitcher, or I have these things that happen in my life where all of a sudden, just like in December, it looks like I have plenty of time and then all of a sudden I don't. So that's somewhat, why I'm hesitating signing up. But if I am, then I'm going to use that heart. That there's a heart in the middle of the swan, and I think I'm going to use that heart as my design. So it just has to be a cross stitch small. Okay, the next thing is a pattern by Witchy Stitcher, and it's called I Love You for Your Brains. It's one that I purchased as a PDF online. And so I don't have a picture for you, but if you do Witchy Stitcher, I Love You for Your Brains, you can see it, and it's a zombie. And then there's hearts around. So I feel that this is both a Valentine's Day stitch and a Halloween stitch. And for whatever reason, once again, I think that I am doing 2 threads because again, it looks poofy. I think that this one was an 18 count. This is what happens when I dye the stuff. I think, oh, I'm going to remember. And then I don't remember. So I think, so that's why the stitches are a little poofy, but I was a little irritated because this felt really stiff, but right now it doesn't feel stiff. So last year I worked on it for a bit and then set it aside. But I started back up this year and I'm having fun with it. It just makes me giggle. It makes me giggle. And as you can see, I'm trying to learn my lesson from the, for my Carolyn Manning tree, which still has a crease down the middle of it. And I'm rolling things when I'm dealing with Ada, mostly, except for this one. And then just, I come to a kind of a weird decision, but, or maybe it seems weird, might seem weird, might not seem weird to you, but this is my favorite kind of cross stitch bag. And it's actually just from the Dollarama here. And the reason I like it is because it's nice and long and I can fit these rolls in easily so that it's not hard to get things in and out. I love how beautiful this is, or my ones from like Evertote and everything. And Evertote does different sizes, so I probably get a bigger one. But I find that getting stuff, I can't put, it's hard to put a big pattern in here. Like, so then, you know, and I feel like it's, and then also like what has to go in here has to be something that can be folded without a lot of creases. So, yep, that's just something I noticed. So I'm going to be buying some more of these from the Dollarama, and then I'll decorate it. This kind of went a little wrong. I should have done a third or one more there. That's the thing with puff paint. Sometimes you take a risk. Anyways, and then just decorate my own. Okay, so anything else? Oh, and then, just when you think that that's quite enough that I've done, I also, oops. Okay. I also have been working on my, on the swear blanket for my niece and my sister, which I'm greatly not doing as many things on this one as is called for, because look, this is the longest word, and I think that that's going to be the width of it. And so I've done some work. I finished all the bobbles and I'm on row number 2, but I haven't started the word yet. Love doing the bobbles, not so sure about the words. Okay, and then the last thing that I wanted to share with you is, it's kind of a tatting thing, okay? Now, first of all, I'm just gonna tell you guys that. And what happened is I was seeing how on Instagram, oh yeah, sorry, the other thing I did that I didn't tell you about, I don't think I've told you about, is I made a whole shit ton of Christmas decorations for a clinic around kind of like a candy cane lane kind of, or peppermint lane kind of theme. So a lot of swirly red and white things, decorations and that stuff. So I made a shit ton of decorations too. Okay. And yep. Okay, hold on. Okay. And so that was one of the other things I did in December, and that took a couple days. Now, this is a wreath, and what I had seen, so I was on, my point about this is I was on Instagram a lot looking for, and they have all of these kind of like little, not really tutorials, but fast clips of things that can be done, and, or things people have done. Oh, I've lost one of my, sorry, hold on. Oh, hold on, oh, shoot, okay. Oops, lost one of my markers, stitch markers. That's why paper clips aren't always the best markers. But anyways, okay. So, and what I had seen where somebody was doing kind of a crochet thing around a styrofoam, and then did the, you know, the crochet chain around it to make kind of a wreath. And when they were doing it, they had to keep pulling the ball through, pulling the ball through. And I was thinking to myself, silly fools, if only you knew how to do a split chain or a lark heads knot, right, which we use in tatting for the split chain, then, or how to stitch around, how to tat around a cabone, you would actually be able to do this without having to shove this thing through all the time. And so that's what I've been doing, is using my tatting skills to tat around this. And then when I'm done this one round, then what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to do red thread, red yarn, and just do like, instead of a crocheted kind of thing, do it as a tatted thing. So we'll see. And then the fun thing I was thinking is that I don't know if anybody's seen, but if you were a tatting person, then FYI, the Finger Lakes have put out their seminar information. And one of the seminars being taught is a Dorset button by Martha S. Now, a couple of years ago, I thought, like I don't know, like before, it was before COVID anyways, I thought, I'm not gonna learn how to make Dorset buttons because, hey, I've got enough crafts. And then I took up cross stitch, so clearly there's never enough crafts. But I took up cross stitch more seriously. So I never learned to do it, but I was following the lace loving librarian when she was making all of her gorgeous Dorset buttons and absolutely loved them. So I'm thinking that I will do the same thing as I did last year, where why is that here? Okay, where okay, it's somewhat bizarre, but anyways, where I will, sorry, I got some extra paper clips, where I go down on the Sunday, because the reason is not because I don't want to be there for the whole weekend, but because I have senior dogs and they don't do well in kennels. It's been 5 years since they've been in a kennel, and they just, it's better to leave them in, I know it sounds really bad too, but it's better to leave them in the house with their stuff and their pee pads and their food and everything for a wee while than it is to put them in a kennel. Because when they're in a kennel, they're sitting in a room that they don't know. It's concrete. Yeah, they get taken somewhere to pee, but it's not outside anyway. So they're not comfortable. So I'd rather just leave them in my house and, and maybe one of my friends will check on them. Anyways, so that's why I will likely just sign up for the Sunday. I'd like to be there the whole time. I am well aware I'm missing lots, but it's just the way it's going to work out for me, I suspect. Anyways, if you are a tatter and or thinking about tatting, because I think there's some beginning classes, then I actually highly recommend it. If you're in the area, you're within, I think it's well worth driving 4 hours there and back. So hey, so I highly encourage you to go. It's going to be a great time, and there's great teachers there, and people are wonderful. And yep. Anyways, so, but on that note, the reason why the Dorset button came in was because I think this is like, you use a ring to make a Dorset button, and you could make a big Dorset button with one of these. Anyways, who knows if I'll actually finish this. It just was something that was easy to do when I wasn't feeling very good. And, my eyes were not great. So, I didn't have to think too much. Yep. Yeah. And, yep, I'll keep you an update on this. Part of the reason, so part of the reason I think this will be reasonably successful is that I have stitched with, tatted with yarn before. And the one thing I've learned is that, hey, wool breaks, but acrylic is not likely to break. So it will be usable. I think it'll be super cute. Plus it's softy wafty. So it'll be a really cute wintry kind of wreath. Anyways, I saw it on Instagram, and my instant reaction was, oh, those poor crocheters. If only they knew how to tat. Anyway, okay, kind of makes me laugh. Alrighty, I think that is everything. There's no special plans for this year, I don't think, other than I'm going to try to share a couple more tutorials online, and finish my mesh Christmas tree, deco mesh Christmas tree. And continue to work on the things that I've already had. I think I will do, maybe at some point in time, a whip parade to see, just to show you what I do have on the go. I try not to have too many things, but I did start 2 big things this fall. Well, actually, technically 3 because of the Nora Corbett. So the Nora Corbett Christmas tree. But so I actually, have a lot of, and then I have some different 3 of the Renalic doilies ongoing. Now, if you are a tatter, then the other thing I thought I should remind you is that Janie Burrell does a Tatted in C that usually starts somewhere in January, And then in the next month or two, around this time, also is when Renelic does her doily, her spring doily. So when that gets closer and it comes up, then we'll talk about it, and maybe I'll show you. Okay, so I don't have any of my old ones. Well, I have, sorry, that's not true. I have my 2014 one, but I didn't do all the rounds because I figured it looks completed to me at a certain point. And so I have that one, but I don't have any of the other ones that I finished because guess what? Never lost in the fire. But I have 3 on the go that I haven't really stitched a whole lot on the last year. So one of the things going forward this year is I'm hoping that I will be able to, there's one that's actually, I think I just have to do like the penultimate round, which is a big round and a long-term round, like a time-consuming one. But I think I'm hoping that I will be able to start that. All right, cool. I'm going to wish you guys happy tatting, and thank you for watching my video, and hope to see you guys again soon. Okay, cheers.